appreciate that the East African Business Council is celebrating 20 years of its existence, and we do realize that the contribution of the Council in the region has been tremendous. They've been able to flag to our political leaders in all our partner states the issues that affect the private sector in improving our investment climate in the region.
Over the last couple of years, we've actually seen a big improvement in the ease, in the environment, and in the ease of doing business. For this, we're grateful, but there is still some way to go.
The NTB bill was passed by the East African Legislative Assembly and signed into law. And one of the challenges the private sector had about the bill was that it didn't fundamentally come up with a dispute resolution process or a process of ensuring that NTBs are resolved once they are identified. So we are working with our partners, the EABC, to ensure that these amendments are put in place so that the bill can be effective.
So Volkswagen selected Eastern African Community specifically because there was tremendous signs of structural improvement, and being a market that is strategically located, we thought it's the time to get started. However, what is needed now is a new automotive policy, to combine this free trade area in future so that we have a common market, and for that you need to get started.
We have to move away from a leadership that is zero-sum minded, that thinks in terms of protectionism, that thinks in terms of national sovereignties.
It is important that we make sure that businesses in East Africa are defined as local, as domestic, wherever they may be. So if a Kenyan sets up a business in Uganda, that business should be, by Ugandan law, defined as local and get the same advantages as all Ugandan businesses get.
2-3 messages. After years of saying can we grow an East African common market, politicians should start saying how can we start making East African products so that we stop having a national identity for enterprise.
And number 3 is really the agenda around the free movement of labor. We need to make sure that East Africans can move freely for purposes of trade and investment, and remove all the barriers that stop this free movement of labor. Make sure that people can get work permits easily, that they can establish their businesses easily, that they can physically move.
We don't have harmonized investment codes as yet. We have now created a competition law, and we're just establishing a competition authority. And yet the legal infrastructure, the East African Court of Justice, which I think is the best in the whole of African region as a regional court, is yet to have the mandate, the teeth, to be able to rule and adjudicate on investment and trade issues.
Government often wants to take over functions, whereas the private industry is already doing it and is more capable and better placed to do it. This is the kind of thing where we see the EABC assisting us to ensure that the government accepts and understands the capabilities and how the private sector can work with them, and that the different roles are respected. For example, government normally should be focused on the regulation and to use the private sector for the execution.
But I think the people who face the most hurdles in East Africa are the small to medium enterprises, who really are the backbone of our economy. And so my plea actually to policymakers would be to make sure that we make it easy for people to do business in East Africa, both for locals and also for investors who are coming in. Democracy as far as possible, of course.
It's the strength of the members and the number of the members that's going to make EABC a significant force. It shouldn't be left to exclusive few, but more like an inclusive many. And that is what's going to make EABC a stronger council than what it is today.
The question of economic transformation, the question of manufacturing development, manufacturing process is not a commercial undertaking. It's not a business undertaking. It's a nation-building undertaking. And therefore it needs sacrifice, it needs the participation of each and every one of us.
And I think let's embrace it. Let's continue the dialogue, and for my private sector operators, my fellow private sector operators, the time has never been better. The time is now. Thank you.